Welcome to my review of the FZ1000, the LUMIX FZ1000. I've been using the GH4 since August last year, and I've been very happy with it. The problem is it's hard to match it with my other cameras like Canons and sometimes my Blackmagic. So I've been looking for the perfect D camera for my GH4. So right now, I would like to thank Innovee for lending me a unit of the FZ1000 that I can test out. So if you want to know what's the main feature of this camera, I'd like you to check out how far this camera can reach. So take a look. Yes, I'm wearing shorts. Alright. Wow, and look how far I am. I think I'm a little dot right now. So I hope you can still see me. If you can't, maybe it's time we move on to the next part of our review. So this is another test that we're gonna make. So this is an autofocus test. Right now we have face detection on. So right now the camera is focusing on my teammate or my crew members face, Pat. Hey Pat, say hi. Alright. So Pat, I'd like you to move backwards. Okay, as you can see, Pat is still in focus while she's walking. This would be great for weddings. Now move forward as if you're walking down the aisle. Okay. Alright. Now that's great. Now let's try how fast it goes. So Pat, I want you to, can you walk backwards as fast as you can? Okay, so that's how fast it can go. Now I want you to move forward as fast as you can. And stop. Wow, that's not bad. It actually focused right in time. So that's how the autofocus works for the FZ1000. Okay, so now let's go more to our next tests. Okay, so this is the test for the image stabilizer. As you can see, right now this is actually at maximum zoom, so I'll zoom out a bit how far Pat actually is. So as you can see, she's now once again a dot in the field. So let's zoom in again. So this is how you test the stabilizer if it works, how far you zoom. And as you can see, it's not as shaky as some cameras are, especially with lenses with no image stabilization on. So this has image stabilization on. So as we turn off the image stabilizer, this is how it looks like. Okay, okay, so it's very shaky. Okay, now if I turn it back on, that's how awesome it is. Alright. So image stabilization, I think the camera does very well with what it can do and with what controls it has right now. And as you can see, the autofocus is still working very nice. So So this camera passes the test for autofocus and image stabilization. Let's call back Pat. Okay, so we have the FZ1000, the LUMIX FZ1000. We've tested the autofocus. We've tested the what else? The slow motion. We've also tested how far it could actually reach. You know, like that. Okay. So here with me is Pat. She's my apprentice videographer. She usually shoots using DSLRs, and this is her first time using a bridge type camera. So for a bridge type camera, so Pat, what do you think about the camera?
I think it's incredible. It's lightweight for a small person like me that doesn't carry things a lot. This is easy to handle. My favorite part about this was the zoom in and out with the traditional zoom in and out thingy.
Yeah, that's the thing. At first I thought when I watched the videos online, you have to switch between the zoom and the focus here, just to using the focus ring. So I thought you could only zoom using the focus ring. But when I found out that you could actually zoom using the zoom controls of the camera, I was really relieved, because focusing and zooming at the same time are one of the things that we usually do in weddings and we usually do with live events. So that's a great factor with this camera. So aside from that, also we have how about the image stabilization? How did you find the
That's awesome. For someone that sometimes, you know, when you're in a wedding, like you're on the go, you can't always stabilize what you're holding. So the stabilizer was just awesome.
Yeah, so if there are some moments that if you take time around 5 seconds to set up your monopod or your tripod, but if you have that moment with the image stabilizer of this camera, you could actually shoot some decent footage at maximum zoom. So you could actually capture some moments with that. So how about the autofocus? You saw how it works.
That was just amazing. I was blown away by the face detection focus on this thing. It's just wow.
Yeah, I was actually surprised as well, as even if she was running backwards and forwards, the camera could still follow her face. I don't know how that would work if you have multiple faces so far, but maybe you could do more tests about that. But so far it's great, and yeah, most of the tests that you've seen so far is actually Pat handling it, especially the slow motions. You've seen what I did there. So so far it's a great camera. You have a white balance so far. Your ISO, you can control your ISO. The slow motion is up to what, 120 frames per second in 1080p. So imagine 1080p. What camera does that for this price, right? So what else? It shoots 4K. So I'll be showing some footage of 4K later. So aside from that, I think it's a great camera for the price that it has, and for a bridge camera, it feels like a DSLR with the form factor it has. And if you love to travel, right?
Yeah, I think it would be great for travel, especially when you're far away and your object is all the way over there. You can just zoom. Yeah,
she likes to spy on people. So I was just kidding. So yeah, it's a great camera if you like, if you want to shoot the Statue of Liberty and you're so far away. It's a great camera to shoot with. So, and it shoots 4K. I keep saying 4K because 4K is the future.
Awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, so far, any problems with it? I think she hasn't found any problems with it. But for professionals, I think this camera would pass as a backup camera or a reaction camera, or even camera for shooting a main footage, the main rolling camera. But for creative shots, of course, nothing beats a GH4 with the clarity and the bit rates it has. But if you want a camera that matches your GH4 for your events, I think the FZ1000 is a great camera. So I'll do more tests and hope you watch more of the review. And see you later.
Bye.
She's going. And
bye.
I said you're going, go.
Okay, bye.
She just left.